Well, I got stumped on my very first thing. Okay, we are on day 10 of efforts to unstick the engine. And progress report is not good yet. So just a quick recap. 10 days ago, we pulled the plugs. We put the scope down. Cylinder walls look mostly okay. Some debris on top of the piston crowns. Crystallized carbon, whatnot, sitting there. Cylinder 7, which is the back one on the driver's side, it showed a little bit more rust. There was some rust on the spark plug. The spark plug was put in 23 years ago, but the engine hasn't run since then. So there had been some moisture going into that cylinder a little bit, and there's a bit of rust on the cylinder walls for that one. The rest of them seemed pretty good. All the bolts and nuts that I've taken off so far have all come off super easy. Pulled the valve covers off. Nothing's really rusty under there. Push rods all seem to be moving okay. So 10 days ago, I put some PB Blaster and some Marvel Mystery Oil and ATF fluid down cylinders in various combinations. Cylinder 7 and cylinder 4 were straight PB Blaster, and then ATF Marvel in the other 6. Pretty much everything that went down past the rings into the crankcase in relatively short order. So I let that stew for close to a week. I took some other pieces off the motor and did some cleanup on it, hoping that what was in there was gonna have an impact. Breaker bar on the front crank bolt. Right off the start, I was able to get about a 2-3 degree rock back and forth on the crank bolt. I would do some banging back and forth with the breaker bar on it with some pressure. But never got past that 2 to 3 degree rock. So yesterday I upped the ante. I put in a 50-50 mix of Marvel Mystery Oil and Acetone, and let that stew in there for a while. Camera back in the cylinders again. Most of it's drained back down into the crankcase. So I put a chain wrench on the pulley, the front pulley. I set it up with a ratchet strap. Kind of see it behind me. I've got some tension on there. It's trying to just keep tension on that pulley, trying to turn it with tension and hoping that, with some of the sauce that we put down the cylinders, that it would, whatever was holding it up would break free. I don't want to break anything else in here. This is a keeper engine for sure in the car. It means a lot to me, and I'm not gonna do something for YouTube just to smash it, to break it free just for some clicks and some views. This is a long-term project, and I don't want to compromise the engine for future work. So why am I not pulling the engine? Pulling the engine out of the car, putting it on a stand, and working on it there. I don't have the space for it. Winter is coming. It's starting to get cold outside. I don't have room in my shop, the way it sits right now, to put an engine hoist in front of this car. Pulling the engine is not an option. So what we have to do this winter is we have to break the engine down, peel it back layer by layer, basically from the top down. So again, I don't want to put some brute force on something without looking deeper inside the engine to, try to just drastically break it free. It's an old engine. It's been sitting since 1964. Things are tight in there, so I got to figure out exactly what's what. So next step, starting today, something we're going to do anyways. We've been kind of peeling off pieces, going down the powertrain assembly, taking them off, cleaning them up. Intake manifold is next. We'll take the carburetor off, manifold off. And the valley cover, there's an actual bolt-on valley pan that sits between the cylinder banks, and in that valley pan, that's where the lifters are located and the push rods going up into the cylinder heads. So we're going to take the intake manifold off, and we're going to take the valley pan off. We're going to check, and see what the status is of the lifters, lifter bores down there. I don't know if I've got a piston stuck or if we've got other issues. And keep banging on that crank and the camshaft. If it's got a stuck tappet or something in there, and it's I don't want to blow out my cam. I don't want to bend anything that shouldn't be bent at this point. So, ultimately the engine's going to come out. It's just not going to happen this year. It's probably a spring project. So we'll peel the motor down, top down, intake manifold, valley pan, check the tappets and the lifters and the push rods going up into the cylinder heads, and then after that we'll probably be pulling the heads. Do some work that should be done on a 70-year-old engine. Do it right. Do it, it's a time-consuming process, but we'll do it the right way, and hopefully get this old girl to run on her own power. So that is that's that. So that's day 10 of Break Free. I guess we need to go to work. Okay, here's what we're doing. Intake removal. So we're going to get the fuel line off, the vac line off, for the distributor, linkage, temperature sensor, and the vacuum booster line, which I've already disconnected. So we're going to do those in that order. Well, I got stumped on my very first thing. There, we're gonna put some more blaster up there. Yep. My late father-in-law was a mechanic, and he worked on my Dodge Colt, which was a Mitsubishi, and he always lamented about the fine thread, machine threads that the Japanese use compared to domestics. So much longer to remove another bolt by hand if you are. There we go. Okay, I'll just bend that back slightly. Okay, that's a vacuum line. Now I'm going to remove the linkage.
linkage. Okay, that's that. That's the vacuum booster line right there. I've got that removed. Carburetor linkage is removed. This is the water temperature sender right here. This is fragile according to the shop manual.
On this side of the engine, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, one up behind the linkage. And there is 7 on the other side. So I got 13 in total. So I'll start on this side, these 2, and then do the inside ones on the other side. I'm going to crack them loose first, and then do all of them, crack them loose, and then take them off again. It just so it comes off evenly, so you're not stressing one side, so one side's kind of springing up and the other side's still clamped down tight, and it may, you know, warp your manifold. So you want to do them in a couple stages and start from the inside, work to the outside. So I'll do the inside, both sides first, and then I'll loosen up on the outsides. I grabbed this box. I think my GoPro came in it. I punched some holes in it, and they happen to be all set up to align with bolts that go in the manifold. So this is the passenger side. These are the bolts. That's the driver's side bolts. And we are going to just put the bolts in there as they come out. Some of them are probably different lengths, so this way I will know exactly what spot they came out. Pretty smart, huh? Right. These bolts. Yeah, and then move out. We'll do the outside way. Look at the outside. No bigger. Check your manifold long term as well. Okay, move the outside. Well, got on the outside. Look at the outside together. I wouldn't recommend using an impact on these, not until they're super free. Like that one's fine. I can use an impact on that one. I'm good. That's fine. I need a ratcheting wrench. Snap-on Tools, Mastercraft, somebody want to sponsor me? I need some more tools, brothers, sisters. Got this one bolt right underneath the choke linkage over here on the side. I can't really get a socket on it. Mega format PB blaster. Almost empty. Drink up, little boat. Hit the nut. Time consuming, some of these, because you can't get a tool on them other than a wrench. This bolt is telling me, come on over here. What are you doing way over there? You can't see nothing. Come here. Okay, this is what I'm talking about here. Choke linkage, right here. There's 2 bolts. This one particularly, there's very little clearance between the bolt and the linkage for the choke. Socket won't fit there. So the best tool I have is the old-fashioned spanner. This side here, a little bit easier. My short socket, 3/8 socket drive, kind of fit there, but I couldn't pull the bolt all the way out or else I wouldn't get the socket off. So that's what we got going on over here.
Water. Next. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 gold. It throws, but not extracted. All right, so inside. Let's go back over here. Got it. And the washer. I only dropped one. It's pretty impressive. Okay. Throttle linkage is free. Stick tube is free. Okay. We should be free to lift. Okay. All the bolts are out. Let's carry on. We'll start the carburetor removal